Boop, 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 doop. It's time to see if I can solve puzzles with the flu shot. Kind of feel like garbage today. Don't know if it's the flu shot I got 2 days ago or if I just slept like garbage at random because I'm over 30 and that's just a fun thing that happens. You just don't get to be at 100% on a regular basis. Which is usually fine because you just say fuck it. But it increases the chance that I get to have a public mistake that everybody talks about for a while. And that's annoying when you're a live recording person who documents every moment of human frailty in your life permanently. Anyway. That respawns this cube. What are we looking at in this room? So putting a thingy on this thingy makes this thingy go door open. That stops anything from going along here. That's the exit over there, and that's a platform that will open. Blah, blah, blah. It's an interesting approach that the fan does not knock you away. If you jump, you move a lot, obviously, but it's not like the super fans from Telos Principle. You can just kind of walk over here. Hello, fan. Alright, so I need to block this laser, which I can't do with my body, even temporarily, in order to open that door. And this one... Okay, so putting something here causes it to lift that bridge. I feel like I probably just put the box... You probably just put it over there, and then drop it, and then you rewind it. Because when it's rewinding, it's probably immune to physics, I think. So while it's rewinding, it probably will first press this button, allowing me to cross this. Then when I get across here, I then rewind it further until it's blocking the laser where it was when I originally let go of it. So that part seems relatively intuitive. Those sparks are going through the wall. So the question, the primary obstacle right now is just this guy right here. Is how do I do what I'm talking about here if this beam is here? And yeah, I'm not really sure. Because yeah, I have to go this way to get to the level. But then I need to rewind it. Because I need to be able to make both of these triggers happen somehow. My thought process right now is that maybe you set it up so you can rewind. You press this button so you can get through, then you start rewinding it, and you rewind it to a state where it's currently floating there. Then I walk through this gate, which wipes out my time powers, and that causes it to go blowing across the room. But then it'll be over here, and then I can rewind it to press this button, and then rewind it back to the laser, because that'll be where the reset happened. I think that's the puzzle. Which seems reasonable. I have no idea if this is gonna work. Okay, so first of all, I need to go through here. Then rewind you. Back to where it'll freeze in place. And now I'll walk through here and it'll blow away. And I'll hopefully press that... Well, the good news is this works in concept in that it did that part. But because we're dealing with a physics-based game, you get to deal with basically RNG. So it never pressed that button, it just didn't happen to hit it. So that's a fun problem for me now. Alright. Gonna make a lower, higher, I don't know. Okay, this kind of sucks. Oh well. Let's see. Why is it so perfectly bounce over it every time? That really is annoying. This is like definitely the solution, isn't it? Like a spot to put it? Okay, it finally pressed it. But I need to, like, be able to do that reliably, because that doesn't count. I guess that could have counted. Well, no, it can't, because I have to reset it still. Yeah, I guess I can still use that. It really is RNG. I literally rewound it to the same spot, and it didn't hit the button this time, despite that being the same position. It's so douchey to have these kinds of physics puzzles that don't just have really consistent responses. I could be wrong, there could be a smarter way to do this, but it just seems like this is so clearly the solution. And it works fine if the physics just actually behaves for a second. There, it pressed the button. But will it press the button the second time it happens in the same timeline? Because it's supposed to be a rewind tool. It's supposed to be perfect. Apparently it can just betray me. I'm gonna cry. I'm going to cry all of my tears out that I'm doing this puzzle right now. What is this shit? Like, honestly, I shouldn't even go by the attempt. I shouldn't even care whether or not it works on my demo run, because for all I know, it's gonna change results anyway, so I'll just keep doing it. It can't be trusted. This, like, sucks. Oops. Alright, so that didn't go anywhere. Can't, like, trick it and be, like, rolling in fun new directions or something. Nope. That went even further the other direction. Okay, wow, it's really likes to go diagonally that way now. If I could harness this power, I could try to aim. Because it seems to reliably miss the button if it's facing in the straight direction, so I'm trying to, like, tilt it. But man, I don't fucking know. Look how annoyingly it interacts with physics. They made a cube that rolls instead of sliding in these situations. It's too light. So you just have no fucking clue what it's gonna do mechanically. There, it technically touched it, I guess. Time to pray. Okay. God damn it. I don't know why the game works this way. I don't see how it serves a mechanical purpose most of the time. But, I let go of the left click. So it didn't make it back to the laser. And you can't shoot it again behind glass. You can only shoot it through grates. Like, there's no, like, continue rewinding the thing you were already rewinding button. They're very dedicated to not letting you do that. The problem is, I don't think the game ever mechanically interacts with the... I don't think the game would even open up new opportunities if you could just, like, walk while you were rewinding something. Or, like, stop rewinding something and then walk and then continue rewinding something. I think the game generally is built around facilitating you being able to do that anyway. So what's the point of this limitation where I can't shoot it in a bunch of arbitrary situations? Please touch the button. I'm gonna fucking scream! It went so high in the air that time. It just literally interacts with physics differently every time. I think I forgot to reset it. Who cares? I just have to do a bunch of runs over and over again. Just press the button. Oh my god, it keeps bouncing so high. Why is it doing that? It does, like, it's literally after... It's literally in the same pause position where it didn't do that. So I know it shouldn't. I'm rewinding it to the same position. That where the... So the physics is just random. Either the physics is random or the game actually just does not successfully rewind objects back to the spot it's saying it to. There's an inaccuracy here. And all of this is unnecessary because it's all happening because they insisted on having a cube with such shitty physics for puzzles. Like, they made the weighted companion cube in Portal so consistent on purpose, because so many elements of Portal have to behave the same way every time you do a run, otherwise random surprises and bad news happens. Okay, now I need to remind you the exact... Come on. This is it, this should be it. And just barely... Freedom! Look at how fucking airborne it is. Why would you make the asset work like this? It makes me worried that they, like made the rest of the game and then someone changed the properties of the cube after the game was finished. Like that time where the developers of LA Noire changed it so that the button that says, that used to say press, they changed it to say doubt. So that made it feel like it was implied that you as the player are supposed to guess, like, oh, is he telling the truth or is he lying or do I just doubt him? Ooh. But actually, with the button meant to be say press, as in like put pressure on this person and try to force a reaction out of them. So every time you press doubt, your character actually loses their fucking mind and like yells at them and threatens them and stuff. And like, but like they wrote the whole game based on the prompt being press, and then they changed it after the game was done to be doubt. And so it's incomprehensible to players.
Alone. I am unsure. But have hope, Arya. You have proven yourself very capable. Once you rewind Earth, you could safely return home if you so desired.
I hope so. And what about you? What are you gonna do?
I'm not sure what my purpose is if there are no puzzles to operate and manage. I guess I may like to see what exists outside the Entropy Centre.
You should come too. Earth can be nice, from what I remember.
Yes, I think I would like that.
Strange. But yeah, obviously I don't know what the hell the development of the game was. I'm just saying, like, I can't comprehend why you would make the cubes work that way physics-wise. It makes them incredibly irritating. And you think it would come up in playtesting that maybe they shouldn't work that way. Unless they just didn't know how to change how something behaves in physics? I don't know. That'd be upsetting to think about. I got distracted by the narration now because now I'm like, what do you mean after? Wait. So, what's her name? Our AI is saying that she doesn't know what she's gonna do when there's nothing left to do with physics. Or sorry, fucking, I got my brain reset. It's like a twisted wire. Is that like a glitch? I think that's like the polygon, like the model got twisted in a way that where it's freaking out. Anyway, why are they talking about after the Entropy Centre? Like, I don't... That conversation we just listened to didn't make any sense, right? Like, on a fundamental level? Because they're talking like, what are you gonna do after we get out of all this? Like, when you're, like, in a movie, when people are in a really bad situation, and they're gonna go back to normalcy. But normalcy is the Entropy Centre functioning. We're in the state of the Entropy Centre not functioning after this. Like, our goal is to save the Earth by using the Entropy Centre, which further reinforces the necessity of the Entropy Centre, which means we want the Entropy Centre to be back in function, and we want to, like, figure out where everyone went, probably bring them all back to life or something by rewinding the Entropy Centre. Like, our goal is to save the Earth and restore the functionality of this place, which is how we save the Earth, which, as far as we're aware right now, narratively, like, because like maybe we're gonna break the cycle or something, but as far as we know right now, because that has not been introduced, if that's where the story is going, they don't want to break the cycle. They want to bring the cycle back, because if the Entropy Centre doesn't keep saving Earth, the Earth just will keep dying. There's been a huge number of catastrophes that have been saved by the Entropy Centre, and while you can like feel instinctively that the narrative's going to lean towards the idea of bringing an end to the Entropy Centre, and like it's bringing up the like flaws in this approach, or maybe the inevitability of the doomed Earth or something. Narratively, we have not actually reckoned with that at all, and our characters especially do not at all comprehend the idea, or they're not at all on board with the idea of quitting this. So our character, who is the best tester in the history of the Entropy Centre, not only is her goal right now to save the Earth using the Entropy Centre, her goal then afterwards would probably be to keep being in the Entropy Centre, to keep saving the Earth like she did before. But even more baffling, the AI is thinking about what its life is going to be like after the Entropy Centre, and it's like, why would the AI be saying that? They're specifically trying to fix the Entropy Centre. That's the whole point. Their entire goal is to save the Earth, and there's zero implication that rewinding this one current explosion, which they've already said keeps happening every time they rewind it anyway, there's no implication that that will so quote unquote like bring an end to the puzzles. So like, what does she mean? What is she gonna do after the puzzles? Like, she doesn't know what to do with herself once the puzzles aren't being solved. The whole goal is to get back to the puzzles being solved. Her goal is not to retire and bring an end to this, like, to bring an end to this crisis permanent. I mean, if she could, sure, but there's no implication that you can permanently solve the problem. So she has to keep doing this, and it's what she wants to do, and it's what she was made to do, and it's what she does normally. What is she talking about? She's gonna just, like, become a sentient robot, like an ex machina, and just wander the earth in search of wild puzzles separate from the Entropy Centre? What? I don't understand why they're talking like that. Maybe I missed something, like a context at the beginning of it, because I was also looking at the puzzle and everything, but once I registered what they were saying, I was like, what? What the fuck are they talking about? It doesn't match up with anything I know about the narrative, if I heard correctly. Like, what, anything that they'd be wanting to do right now. Anyway, a store came in through. I can't go that way or it will break my stuff. If I step on this, it gets rid of that one. But the question is, how do you press this button? This opens that door and that elevator. And I think there might be another box up there. Yeah, it looks like it. So one of my goals is to try pressing this. But the question is, how would I press this button? You'd have to put the box on it. So I could... I don't really have a plan right now. But on some level, I could try launching it onto this platform. It does automatically retract. That's gonna be tough. I can't keep the button pressed myself very well, can I? Oh, right. Obviously. But then physics. Okay, so I can go over here and I can step on this. That will technically... Did it fall off? Okay. I kind of just saw the shape of the level and thought something would be helpful about that, but no, it's just kind of up there now, huh? I'm not sure where the box... Oh, there's a fan. Okay, so I'm correctly sensing the shape of the level because there's even a fan to help it go that way. For some reason. Oh. Because if I rewind it, I'll get the box back on this side. There we go. It's funny how you can just kind of like detect the shape of a level and be like, okay, so clearly I'm supposed to do this. Just like, obviously I send the box this way. And I didn't even know what my goal was. I was just like, clearly this is gonna work out. I guess this is just what happens when you play a bunch of puzzle games. So here's my second square. I think I just need you to launch me in the air. Whereas I think my goal is going to be to carry you over to do the thing that makes the lift come over. Yeah, I lost my rewind. Okay, so my goal is to get up there, but this has to press this button, so I was going to have that go over there and press the carry me over on the lift button, then I was going to get over here and rewind it back to here to open the door. But that's going to reset my clock thing, so this button has to be pressed for that to happen. But it can't be the same one that's pushing the lift along, because the one that's pushing the lift along has to be actively holding it. No, wait. Right. The lift goes that way when you press it, but when you let go, it goes that way. So, okay. I thought I was in trouble for the fact that I put that one over there and reset it already, because I thought, oh, that one has to rewind to this button to open the door to get rid of the laser thing, and that one has to reset over to from there with the lift control to there with the opening the door thing. But no, as it is right now, I think if I reset this one here, carry it over to there to power the lift, then jump on the lift, all I need to do is rewind this from there to there before the lift carries me through the grate. If I can finish rewinding it to here in time, the door will be open. If I can't, then I might have to use the other box, because the other box controls the... You know, no, yeah, no, I can just fix that. I can just make this one the one that powers the jumper and put that one there instead. And then I can literally just stand there on the lift without it moving and rewind this one all the way back to there. And then just move the other one slightly to release me. Okay, that's simpler. There's more pre-planning in this level because there's a barrier that makes me fail the entire puzzle if I use it. And that's annoying. Doop. So knowing that I have to pre-plan everything perfectly because any of these things resetting me it makes so I have to redo everything, which might even involve resolving the part with the block earlier. Let's see, so... 4 seconds. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't reset either of them. Sometimes I do it reflexively, but here I really need to not do that. Okay, so this one is just powering the cannon, which I don't need anymore. So you go all the way back and press this. It's a good thing I switched which block I was using, because that probably wasn't going to make it in time. And now you just move out of the way. And I'll skip through here and it won't matter, and then I'll go over here and I win. I've been ranty this episode so far, but you know, sometimes the game just does it to you. The ghost people! Quick, snort them. Maybe they're made of the good shit. Why did they leave? Who wrote that? I have a few questions. Who wrote that? Was it me? Did everyone leave except me and I wrote why did they leave? Is all of this in my handwriting and that's why it's all the same handwriting? Do we keep resetting my memory so I keep having to do all of this over and over again? Is that what's happening since we've established that it resets memory? Do I keep resetting my memory and doing this over and over again? The clock. Are they pointing out what time the clocks all say that isn't moving? The clock that I pointed out doesn't make sense because, like... No, it says 8 o'clock. It's not that, but the other clocks I've seen, if I remember correctly, the hand doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, it's because the minute hand was pointing at the 6, which meant that the hour hand shouldn't be pointing straight at a number, but that's not this clock. It's the other real clocks. But then my follow-up question is, what pen did you use to write these with? Not just the fact that I don't see any pens on the whiteboard, but look how big those strokes are. Did you paint these with a paintbrush? A Sharpie paintbrush? Anyway. Entropy Centre, automated bot, Earth reversal 9283. This is an automated message, please do not reply. To Jericho. Unfortunately, the Entropy Centre has rewound Earth to a date that is before your date of birth. 20th of July 1989. This now means that unfortunately you'll be unable to return to Earth due to potential duplicate person. We thank you for the service and sacrifice to Entropy Centre. Please call Macy to sign up for emotional support and well-being class. Thank you. First of all, I'm just gonna send this to Jericho real quick, because lol. Because that's funny to me. That also might be... That, I'm not sure actually what year they were born. So if you get rewound to before... If the Earth ever... It sounds like permanent, right? Like, my first reflex was like, oh, they can't go back to Earth until we re-enter their timeline. Or their time period. But instead it's like, if they hire an employee here, but then they rewind the Earth to go back further than their entire lifetime was, then they still exist. It doesn't create a time paradox, apparently, where they blink out of existence or something, which itself, huh. Although, I don't know, time travel's confusing. But they're just permanently not allowed to go home. They have been forced to lose their entire life to working at this company, which they might have seen as a temporary thing for all I know. Although, who knows? I don't know what kind of person signs up for this kind of job, because when you think about it, they are, like, being temporally displaced, and everyone here is aging, right? I think. So it probably does feel like you, like, volunteer to go work at the Entropy Centre, and then you're just dead 5 years later in the real world, because those 5 years took you 70 years or something. So, I don't know. That is wild, though. Like, that person's essentially a permanent prisoner here. What do you do if you fire that person? Are there non-employee... Ooh. Hello. Things are going great.
Reactor core spotted. Directive. Head to the reactor control panel.
Does this place have non-employees? Like just a friends and family area? What if you do have a child up here? Someone's going to have a child up here at some point. It just seems inevitable with all these people you're making them live here indefinitely. See, I really like that email because it's really upsetting. The implication of Jericho's life is really upsetting. It's just I would like to explore that stuff. But I think part of the reason I'm struggling with this game so much is that it gives you a really cool premise, and it feels like it really underexplores how insane and unhinged a lot of that stuff is. And I just want to, like, poke at this bizarre world and its bizarre, like, just how, like all the dark elements of what it would be like to work here and so on. So they're hinting at some of it there, but then I still have, like, more questions there. Because, like, yeah, what's the follow-up there? What happens to that person? What do you do to ex-employees up here? Because, like, what's it like to terminate somebody? Surely there are some people that just can't be relied upon to work here, because that's just the basics of jobs, is people get fired from things. No matter how utopian you kind of set things up to be, there's gonna be someone that's just, like, not reasonable or something. Or that you can't figure out how to make work here. It's weirdly hard to pick these up. It takes a few attempts. It's kind of unhinged in its own way that it's another symptom of how stuff is just too light in this game, but it's really weird that these objects fly around the room when they bounce something sometimes, making them extra unreliable as tools. Hello. Hi. Bye. Okay, so it has to go there. That's a trippy little effect. The weird... I didn't really notice the weird little scrolling texture before. Yeah, I find the premise we're given here pretty interesting. I just sometimes worry that the game isn't as interested in that premise as I am. Let's see. Every time. Every fucking... Oh, that's not a when you shoot. I guess I die. Or not. Okay. Oh, I made it, I guess. What? They like just didn't attack me, and then I guess I was able to escape. I don't. I'm not really sure what the puzzle mechanic was there. I feel like I was supposed to do something, but I just kind of awkwardly skated on the rail. I guess here I just run in circles for a bit. Uh-oh. Actually, might be in trouble here. Ah. I don't think I was gonna be able to loop them, because I was worried that if I went slightly forward, they were gonna turn left and get on both sides of me. Oop. Do-do-do-do.
Warning, incoming entropy bots.
I guess maybe you want to go that way. It feels weird that I can do that. Do I go down there, maybe? That whole level feels like it's meant to have a bunch of, like, Resident Evil style go in circles spots, but I guess I wasn't even supposed to go that way, actually. That's weird. Yeah, I guess I wasn't supposed to go that way in the first place. All the circular platforms made it feel like I was supposed to, like, guide them around in circles and trick them that way. I didn't even see that one. Oop, hello. Okay, calm down. You're getting a wee bit aggro, Mr. Reactor, and I'm gonna need to ask you to calm your shit down. Oh, Jesus, those are really hard to see. They really gotta... These are so fucking hard to see. I don't understand the visual design of this game. It's so strange. Uh-oh. Hi. Things are unwell. Uh-huh.
Reactor core unstable. Manual reset failed.
ASTRA!
Uh-oh.
What do we do?
Directive, rewind the reactor core. There is no other alternative.
Oh, well that makes sense. Hope this doesn't shatter reality.
To reverse entropy. Stability of core is increasing. Warning. Energy overload burst detected. 1. Staff member detected in reactor field. Please vacate immediately to continue. Repeat. Please vacate reactor field.
ASTRA, this thing is gonna fry us. I don't know what to do.
It won't let me back up.
Go. Emitting static charge.
ASTRA, open this door.
Automatic mode enabled. Rewinding entropy core. Director. Saving Arya.
Stop. There has to be another way.
Entropy core stabilizing. 0 staff members detected in reactor field area. Emitting overload burst in 10.
This will make the entropy device functional again. You must stay to initialize it and rewind Earth.
I can't do this without you. Open the door.
You've got this.
3,
I hope you manage to make it home,
2,
friend.
1.
ASTRA! No.
I needed that gun to do anything.
Reactor core is now stable. Entropy device can now be activated.
Oh! Oh, I need the gun for now. I'm in trouble. Is the game over, or are we gonna have post-gun puzzles now? I don't know. It might be over. This looks pretty important. Oh.
Reactor self-repair has been enabled. Please stand clear.
Astra. Okay. I have to get out of here.
I understand. I understand the urge to have a... Oh my god, the chocolate bar is huge. I understand the urge to have an emotional sacrifice, but why would Astra's entire consciousness be inside the gun? Like, that doesn't make sense. They did like a setup and payoff, like with the electric shock. Like, never do that again. It's like, aha, I'm gonna use the electric shock later to save you by making you drop the gun. And then I'll die in the reactor core, but you won't, because apparently just being slightly further away was enough to save you, because there was like a piece of glass or something. Even though like its shockwaves were literally destroying the facility around us, I guess we're fine. Like, I don't know how we're supposed to accept that. Hello. Yeah, maybe the puzzles going forward are going to keep looping or something? Yeah, I'm baffled by the idea that Astra was entirely inside the gun and now she's supposed to be dead from our perspective, because it definitely was framed by the narrative as like an emotional self-sacrifice, but it'd be like breaking an individual computer and then being like, no, Gladys is dead in Portal. Like, no, she's the computer. There's more of her than that. But it also means that the reason why that dialogue, that conversation that I said made no sense, seemingly played entirely because it was literally like it's like when a cop says they're a week away from retirement at the beginning of a movie and then they die in the movie. Like, they were just doing that trope. We're like, oh man, let's talk about our futures as our last conversation before she literally dies. Like, and they did that. They were so, unless I'm missing something, it seems like they were so like devoted to that trope that they just committed to it, even though it actively didn't make sense because the whole conversation didn't make sense. Weird. Huh. I'm getting ranty. It's whatever. Bradley Kavanaugh, the cavern. Have you been down to the cavern beneath the reactor recently? It's super creepy down here. I think I saw something. No wonder it hasn't. No one has turned into a bit of a dumping ground. No one wants to go down here. I heard the puzzle operative team were considering using the area to create new puzzle areas, but decided against it due to the unstable terrain. There's a giant cavern full of unstable terrain. Wouldn't you kind of be worried that it would like create a leak into the outside world? Aren't we on the moon, where the outside atmosphere would kill everybody? So like, I wouldn't want to be in a giant, incredibly huge chamber that has to be also perfectly airtight. I wouldn't want to trust that if it's like constantly crumbling. Entropy Centre automated system reactor self-repair. To all Entropy Centre staff members, please note that the Entropy reactor has now entered a fail-safe self-repair mode. When in this state, the reactor will emit a rewind pulse at regular intervals. This will repair damaged supports and structural elements close to the reactor core to increase overall reactor structural integrity. This has been automatically enabled due to reactor reversal state triggered by unauthorized personnel. All Entropy staff must vacate the area and the cavern and reactor area when this state is enabled. Hello. Is there more computer over here? The individual... I thought that said office dad. The lore placements is getting a little funny. Dave Phillips, Order 124. Hey Jim, engineering has just made a request for an additional 800 kilograms of moon rock excavation to be turned to concrete. You think we may be able to turn this over in a couple of weeks? They are needing it to build a new structure around Puzzle Area 16. Thanks, Dave. Puzzle Area 16. The massive amount of moon rock. I thought, weren't the puzzle areas previously denoted as being like a world and a level, essentially? Like 2 numbers, not 1 number? I don't remember. I could be wrong about that. This definitely gives me the vibe that they played Control while they were making this game. They're just like, well, what if we put in some big ol' massive impossible structures that look cool? So I gotta wait for the rewind to happen on its own now. Can I make it in time before it falls? Yeah. Okay. Entropy Museum, open those days. Wasn't the sign in a very different place previously? Why would it be here? I guess you could technically put the ad anywhere, but usually this kind of like convention hall banner is like at the location to advertise the location itself. I thought the Entropy Centre Museum was all the way back up in like the hangout zone. But they said this place is kind of a dumping ground, so maybe just kind of one of them just kind of ended up here. I don't know. I'll do damage control for the game, why not? Listen, at this point, the people who get mad at me when I interrogate what's going on in the game and complain slash nitpick slash question, whatever you want to call it, they stopped watching by now. So it's just us now. So who cares? Let's keep going. Big hole.
Thank God. Do you know how to get out of here? Have you seen ASTRA?
Did they ever explain why...
Follow the weird robot, it is.
Did they ever explain why the robots aren't affected by time travel? I thought everyone was, except organic matter. There's a bit of an iffiness in that we're told that the time travel stuff doesn't work on organic matter, but it's how we're saving the Earth, and we're undoing all those deaths over and over again, which means it works on organic matter on Earth. But some of that can be implied by the idea that, like, the gun is designed to specifically not work on organic matter because it's meant to be used by testers, by puzzle solvers, to generate the power for Earth, and that's different from the actual main thing that rewinds Earth, which has to work on organic matter because it's saving millions of lives over and over again. It's rewinding the entire planet. That wouldn't work if the people weren't getting rewinded. But this thing happening right now, doesn't this seem like it would be a time loop thing that would be happening to me too? Shouldn't I be getting rewound by the reactor and not just the physical objects? Let alone the robot that's wandering around. That seems like he should also be getting rewound by the reactor. Brennan Dwary House. Heyo, Jonathan, regarding our conversation last week about creating a new set of puzzle areas, what about the zone just underneath the reactor? Section 10 pounds, section 10B, I think it is. Loads of space there. Hey, Brennan, nah, that area isn't gonna work. I think we tried building some stuff there a while back, but it just didn't work out. The train's way too unstable. It's become a bit of a dumping ground. Also, it's way too risky being that close to the reactor. Maybe we could expand into the beaches instead. I think the puzzle operators wouldn't mind catching some rays while doing the puzzles. 8 parentheses. Let's see. What was I thinking about a second? Oh, right. It just occurred to me that, like, every time you go to your inbox, it says a name, and that's meant to help us understand whose computer this is. But it's the name of the owner of the computer. Like, look, it says you, heyo, Jonathan, and then Jonathan responds, hey, Brennan. So Brennan Dwary House is our name, by which I mean this computer user's name. Imagine opening your inbox and you just see your name over and over again. Like, that, what a horrible design. It's contrived entirely to help us tell whose documents these are. But instead of just putting it in the corner of the screen, like, you're logged in as Brennan or whatever, they made it the inbox. The inbox itself constantly says our name. That's super confusing. Like, if anything, it should say the person we're talking to, not us. So it should say John's name, not Brennan's. It's all clarified by just including all of the to and froms in the conversation itself. But yeah, it's very confusing that they... It's just very strange that they did it that way. That's just not how anything would work. Oh, here we go. I missed this. Let's see. I definitely hope we find the gun. I can see this being this chapter's gimmick, but if I have to go the rest of the game without a gun, this waiting for these loops to happen on a timer is gonna get old. Whoop! Not yet. Let's not go all the way back around because I messed up. Oh, there's a little failsafe down there to help you out. Uh-oh. Oh, I almost didn't make it. The reset came sooner than I expected. Okay, so this is all just rock. Did not mean to fall down there. I thought I could hop on the little steps. Where am I? I'm back where I landed-ish. Nope, not this time. Whee! Something over here. Yep. No, go back. Oopsie. Wait, was that good or bad? Oh, I guess I need to do that. Okay. Yep. I've got terrible timing. So I want you to rewind. But then this is going to be going this way. But I think I can fight it. Yeah, so now I just wait for it to rewind again. Hope this is the right call. Whee! Okay. Yeah, I don't see a computer back there. There is once again a question to be raised about all of this debris that's everywhere, which would have been moved or fell at some point, but it's not being rewound by the reactor, because this game doesn't have a consistent definition of what can and can't be rewound and how much it rewinds by. You can regularly rewind stuff that's been sitting there for hours or days or years, in addition to the stuff that you just moved. I don't think the game has an answer for me on that stuff. Hello. Oh, I hope you don't die horribly. Good luck, little guy. It's okay, he just has to make it all the way through the entire rest of the game across a series of narrow catwalks, and we just have to hope that they don't happen to do the one thing that catwalks always do in this game. It's getting dark. Trying to get out of this area. I did not memorize how much of it breaks, so... Oop, okay. They might have timed it so that it takes approximately the amount of time to cross the area, as is the amount of it that will break each time. Otherwise, I'm just gonna suddenly die because I'm not sure which parts are gonna fall. That's a lot of bottles. Somebody was a hypothetical drinkaholic boy, but then they drank 0 of the drinks because every drink in this game is closed. It's a bit of a whoopsie every time they stack a bunch of drinks to imply something about someone, but then they never actually open any of the drinks. Oh god, I got stuck. You got stuck on the final step and you have to jump over it for some reason. Whoops. Cataclysm research. Hello, buddy.
You know I have no idea what you're saying, right?
I am so insufferable today. I have just been continuously rambling. This is helpful for me, but who put this here? Who put these traffic cones here? It does say that that's the beginning of that particular zone that will fall. But who did these? Ow, my head. Just clips through you. Okay. Was this a recurring thing? Maybe this was me. Did I do this in a past loop? I did hypothesize earlier. Oh, that's that part again. I did hypothesize earlier that maybe I've done this loop a bunch of times and I keep resetting my own memory so that I will have the morale to keep saving the world over and over again when everyone else maybe gave up. And maybe I'm just single-handedly running the Entropy Centre and they already implied that it's doomed, but maybe it's so doomed that even I know it's doomed and it's been doomed this whole time, but I just keep trying anyway. And I motivate myself by erasing my own memory, so I always think I'm just waking up with amnesia in the middle of this factory. It's already implied that despite the amnesia, we didn't just like randomly end up here. Like we actually are like extremely connected to this location. We're like the most competent, coolest tester of them all. Cataclysm 13,467. These numbers just keep getting higher. That's like 5,000 higher than the last one. Cataclysm recurrence. Okay, so they do recur. So this is the current cataclysm we're on right now, probably, and it's happened just a shocking number of times. But you can see here that other cataclysms did recur. Cataclysm data sent to Earth, rewound Earth further back 100 years, informed Earth of severity of cataclysm, urgent appeal sent to governing body. What next? Okay, so this is the current cataclysm. This might... So maybe that previous one was just a really bad bit of conveyance? Because they put in the museum... There was notes about like, oh no, this is the cataclysm we can't fix. It's finally happening. We're all fucked. Like... sorry, not that one. Not the one we can't fix. Sorry. That felt like the implication at the time. Well, yes, no, yes. Yes, I'm right and wrong. I was thinking about the email, but it was the show. So like at the time, the screen was showing the big, totally fucked mega cataclysm that's ruining the world, which was weird for it to have that screen in the museum, like it's part of the past or something. But it was directly next to a computer that was about like, wait, we did a cataclysm and then it just happened again. That's never happened before. And I don't remember if they gave me a number or not, but I feel like it was a much smaller number. At the very least, this thing is telling us that cataclysm recurrences do happen, because those are different heights, which means that maybe that's like 1 and 2 and that's 3 or something. I don't know, but cataclysms clearly happen more than once. And so maybe they got like a few thousand in before one of them finally recurred, and that's what that email was about. And they're like, oh man, how did one of them happen again? Because that'd be them like naively not understanding that they will happen again eventually. But they juxtaposed it with the current cataclysm visual, which made it, which like through the way, the gimmicky, like through the way that you convey these narratives, that was just implying that we're talking about that cataclysm, the one that ended everything. But that obviously makes no sense, because even in universe, cataclysms do obviously recur, because here's a whole chart about them showing the fact that they recur. The whole point is that this one recurs so much that it dwarfs everything else, but like those are definitely different heights. Those aren't like one. You also wouldn't keep a chart of that if it's never happened before. So I think they were just kind of being sloppy there with the storytelling. Because like a big part of how this stuff works is that you do contrive a setting where this information is conveyed in a order that makes sense narratively, and things. So like the fact that I'm conveniently finding this thing right now in the most scary, everything's fucked part of the game, as opposed to like earlier, like there's an order in which this information is presented, and it's presented next to other stuff that reinforces that thing, and that happens all the time. And this game knows that, because it does that trick constantly. So I think that museum was just like a really confusingly conveyed level, where like the information it did seemed to just be contradictory and strange. I don't know. Yep. There we go. I was pretty sure I had to jump on this. I don't know. This is all This all includes the caveat that I might have just fucked something up. Pork? Oh. The bad guys are back, but I can't fight them. Oh no. I guess this is one way to find out whether or not they actually can kill me or not. Because I've been unsure about that. You go ouchies when they see you, but it's never been clear if they actually can. Oh, yep. That killed me really quickly too. I wonder why. So, time for the mandatory stealth section. Oh. These are all bombs. I did not see these. Oh, they're way harder to kill things with because they're blowing up on a timer. Got it. These ones blow up on a timer instead of when you click. Because I guess because you lost the launcher of your gun. They all gone? Okay. Okay, so there are death cubes everywhere. I thought they were expecting me to Metal Gear Solid through this when I can't even crouch. Hello, friend. I guess things are just working out for him. The catwalk's genuinely not getting him murdered. Can you stop running around? I need you to die. There you go, buddy. Hi. Okay, so they're fan resistant, clearly. And this is also... What? Oh, did I time it perfectly on it by accident? I think I did. Gotta wait for the... Yeah, you gotta wait for the clock to, yeah. I wasn't thinking about the time enough. I was like, how am I gonna get the block to them? And I just kind of did a test throw to show how broken it was gonna be. And then it actually killed them, and I was like, wait, what? These fans are stronger than normal. Usually they don't push you. But yeah, you have to throw the block while the rewind happens and it kills them. So every single robot is immune to the time stuff. Oh, here we go. We... Oh, I've made a mistake. Uh-huh. Oh, that was a... Wait, that was a really weird texture. I'm not sure what I saw there. So now we just wait politely for the red mode to happen. Oh, it's a big launch. Okay. Oop, landed on the rail. I'm not sure what this was pointing at. Like if it'll hit it or not. Okay. It looked like it was gonna miss almost. The obstacle, I mean, not the platform. it says intel collected every single time, but a lot of these computers, not a huge amount of them, but oftentimes looking at a computer just has a button that lets you continue the game, and there's no emails there. Those count, which is a little weird. Is this room meant to feel like it's looping? Okay. Well, you keep giving me the email. They're trying to... This game, man. So they're trying to imply you're in a loop, which is supposed to unsettle you, but then the collectibles system keeps telling you you just got one of the unique intels, so you're not in a loop. You're clearly just doing 3 rooms that happen to be all in a row that look the same as each other. But you got a collectible notification every time, so you know they're unique. Just don't do that. Especially when there wasn't even an email. So the part where I'm pointing out that the intel thing pops up for open door prompts that aren't even emails is made worse by the fact that it's being triggered by scenes where it's actively ruining the implication of the scene they're trying to do. Like the interface is popping up and ruining it in a way that's actively bad. No! That's so unfortunate. Tom Collins, Cataclysmic Event. To all Entropy Centre staff, as you all know, the ongoing recurring Cataclysmic Event has been of deep concern to us at the Entropy Centre. Our humanitarian and prosperous progress in being a gatekeeper for Earth's timeline seems to have met an unfortunate and unsettling block. Unfortunately, our hands are tied. If Earth cannot collect their course on the timeline, if Earth cannot correct their course on the timeline, we will simply meet the same outcome of the timeline. No matter how much data we send to Earth or how many times we rewind Earth, please note that we are in ongoing and complex talks with our world leaders on Earth in an aim to put a stop to the seemingly endless loop that we're going through. We greatly appreciate all your hard work during this unsettling time. Take care, all. Tom. That's weird in its phrasing. Like, obviously, we knew that's what's happening in the game. There's no reveal here. We knew that that's what's currently happening since like the first third of the game. It's just, it's a little strange in that. What was I had a thought process here. What I find odd is that they were right. It's the lack of specificity. What does that feel strange? That we reached the point where we're talking about the infinite loop more and more, and we're talking about all the data we're sending, but no one is actually acknowledging what's causing the loop, or what's causing the cataclysm. Everyone's just speaking with it in incredibly vague terms, which implies to me that the writers of the game never actually figured out what the cataclysm is. They're just like, you know, the cataclysm. It's just like the concept of entropy, which like works on a metaphorical level, but the more that they try to talk, the more that you hear about the cataclysmic event, and you see PowerPoints about it and emails about it and so much discussion of it all the time, and no one ever says what it is, it gets increasingly weird, because like, you would think that people would just be talking about the actual problem that's right in front of them. It'd be like if for the last year in real life, like throughout 2024, everyone just kept saying the war and nothing else, and didn't in any way say what they were talking about specifically. And you'd be like, what? And just every medium, every channel, every discussion of it is always just the war, and then never more specific. This was definitely meant to be like a moment of being unnerved and uncertain, because they made the music change in that, like, it's a fucked up remix of the previous song. It's like off kilter. It's like horror, uncanny stuff 101 is to be like, oh man. But the notifications broke it, so I know I'm not in a loop. See, did it again. This isn't a loop. So the uncanniness just doesn't work for that purpose, because they're making sure that I know this is not a loop. Whereas like when you play PT and stuff like that, you're genuinely not sure if anything has changed. Like here I know it's literally just a series of rooms that are end to end, and there's a fixed number of them. And I don't even have to, probably don't even have to do like a puzzle to get out of the loop. Entropy reversal bot, cataclysmic rewind 224. Please find attached the auto-generated rewind log of reversal 224857. Blah blah blah. I said the wrong number. 1. Cataclysmic event spotted. Success. 2. Entropy device charged. Success. 3. Entropy device enabled. Success. 4. Earth rewound 5 years prior. Success. 5. Data sent to Earth. Success. 6. Data corrects projected course on timeline. Failed. So that's the over 200th time they rewound the same one. Them having this intel notification work this way, like I said before that it felt like the box was changed after the game was designed, that's why it's so janky. But this actually feels like a thing that was added after the game was already designed, because it ruins the sequence. Dear puzzle operatives, due to the current unfortunate events surrounding ongoing cataclysmic events, the Entropy Centre is enforcing a 6-day work week to increase our entropy yields during these unsettling times. We understand this may be frustrating for a lot of you. Please understand that your hard work is extremely appreciated. Kind regards, Entropy Senior Team. Ellie Bolner, evac. Hey, Area? Where are you? We're down by the transport bays. Are you coming? We don't have much longer to wait. So that's the implication that I figured, which is that Area specifically refused to leave. Ooh. This really is PT. It's like, welcome to the eyeball hallway where there's more screens everywhere and they're all showing the scary eyeball, except in this case it's the, looks like the forest fires of California? Or actually that looks like a magma flow from a volcano. Random images of ice. I guess some of it's climate change. This clearly meant to be a non-literal space. Ugh. Ah. Entropy Senior Management. To all Entropy Center staff, please note that the Entropy Center has now entered a lockdown state and is preparing for the launch of the evacuation transport bays. Many thanks, Entropy Center Automated System. Okay, so this one requires me to do something then. Also locked down on this side. Solve puzzles. How many times have I been here? You've been here before. Yep. So I correctly guessed that the twist is that Aria's been looping over and over again, trying to save the world alone. And she's just like, she's probably making herself go insane from the side effects, because they said that there's side effects to rewinding yourself too often. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to press open door. There's no puzzle. I'm just stupid. Hi. So are all of these ghosts me? Your office. That's a lot of hash marks. Yep. Huh. This game's not, like, actively bad, especially, like, just the goofy puzzle. Just do the puzzles and have fun. But narratively and theming-wise and all that, it really is just an amalgam of games I've played before, isn't it? Like, it really is, like, Portal 2 and now PT. I'm reminded of, like, how Bloober Team is constantly criticized for just stealing from PT and, like, being an amalgam of other horror games ideas. And it's like, I definitely could see the twist coming ages ago. In addition to, like, just the weird gaps that are... Like, there's a decent number of narrative and world-building gaps that seem to be introduced entirely because of the fact that this game is an amalgam of ideas from other games, and those ideas made sense in their original context and don't entirely now. But I've gotten into that stuff over the course of the game. Area, I don't see you. Are you on the evacuation shift? Are you on the evacuation ship? We're about to leave. Please come back. Come quickly. I know you were really shaken up about all this, but we can't do anything now. The center is on the brink of collapse, and you won't be able to do anything on your own. I won't be coming, Ellie. I'm sorry, but I have to stay. Entropy Centre automated system, lockdown state. This is an Entropy Centre automated message. The Entropy Centre has now been evacuated via evacuation bay. The facility has now entered an automated lockdown state. Okay, so we entered into a state where the facility itself is blowing up, which you definitely would think they'd want to plan a magic solution for because of the fact that it's inevitable that it would happen if it's happening inevitably on Earth and so on. But, yeah, I would... Let's see, I think the hash marks... Now I'm inside my own head. Which way do I draw tally marks? I think I always draw top left to bottom right, and now I'm just... All I know is I saw these and I was like, are these backwards? But I'm not gonna commit to that. I'm not really sure where everyone is evacuating to Earth, which keeps exploding. Are they hoping that this is just the last loop and it'll, maybe this time they'll get it right, and that's just the desperate evacuation they're gonna all do, is they're all just gonna go to Earth, which has exploded thousands of times now, and, or hundreds of times at least, and think they'll finally solve it this time? Because like it feels like the kind of doomed area to just be the one beacon of hope for all of humanity, because they all gave up and left to the exploding Earth because this place was exploding, which leaves area to just do this, single-handedly saving everyone, period. But I guess this must end in a full facility rewind of some kind, which then sets us back to the beginning, and we lose our memory, and the gun AI is alive again, and we do the whole thing with her every single time the same way on an infinite loop. Okay, now they did actually loop this part of the room, but this is still doing this, yeah. Aria Adams to herself, I believe. Dear Aria, I think this might be the end for me. I found and lost a really helpful companion who was with me during all the puzzle exercises. I can't really continue without her. I'm stuck beneath the reactor. With all exits broken, I have no way to escape. I've commandeered an office where I can maybe start some research and perhaps find an escape route. If I can maybe find the cause of the recurring cataclysmic event, I can find a way to stop it. Uh-huh. Which is really naive because literally everybody in the entire facility was trying to solve that for like maybe decades or something, and they couldn't do it collectively. And I'm not sure how well you're going to do research if anytime you write anything down, I mean, I don't know. Presumably they're in the same part of the loop that I'm in, but then they went around writing everywhere, and they keep writing and writing and writing and writing, but none of this gets rewound, even though the whole facility keeps getting rewound. Maybe that was just in the immediate area of the reactor, I guess. But also, I understand her writing stuff down on the boards to herself as she tries to figure things out, but like, this is where she's doing research. This is... I'm sorry, I'm being so complainy and mean, but like, this is embarrassing, right? They're doing the fucking yarn conspiracy board in the room she's supposed to be trying to do research to save the world. She's trying to solve why Earth keeps exploding. Like, she's trying to solve everything. She's the most brilliant person here, seemingly, or at least the best tester, I guess, which isn't necessarily a scientist. What has she written? Look how many days she's been here, apparently, or how many loops she's done, maybe, if it's that. And she's like, rewind the cataclysm event. Why did they leave? Why is Earth on fire? I stay. Also, these are like post-it notes that are the size of a fucking ceiling tile. Maybe they are ceiling tiles. Like, look how big they are. Look how big her writing is, and look how big the notes are. Like, it's just very... How does the world end? Why does it keep happening? It's like, much like with the lack of curiosity, and like... The cataclysm is written about in non-specific terms in a way that feels narrative breaking, but also kind of feels like it betrays a lack of curiosity and development on behalf of the writers. In a similar way, everything that she's writing is so dumb. Like, I know on some level she'd write like, the idea of there being like a corner where she wrote something frustrated and panicky makes sense. And I was correct when I guessed that all the writing on the walls was hers all along, and it's all the same writing style because of that. But one, like, a bunch of these are fucking... You'd have to get a paintbrush to draw this stuff. And it's like, what the fuck is this shit? Oh, dang. This is like when Joker got damaged tattooed to his forehead in Suicide Squad. Like, I'm crazy! You won't believe how crazy I am! Like, what the fuck? Find ASTRA. Like, instructions are helpful. If she writes instructions on a wall, that's one of her from another loop giving me instructions, and that's her trying to potentially get me to do something different in the next loop, basically. Like, that kind of stuff makes sense, if she's trying to, like... Because the whole point is, like, she's trying to... Like, just like how the facility... saves Earth by giving it new information in the next loop and hopes that something different happens. It makes sense that a past version of Arya would give future Arya new information and instructions of some kind about, like, where to go in order to help you. The problem is, this is the closest thing we have to instructions, and it's just the thing I already know that I'd want to do. And then everything else is just fucking noise. No research and no instruction. But also, doesn't all this, like, if I am in a giant time loop and I've been here over and over again, wouldn't this facility also rewind every time that happens? So, like, why is this room like this? Is it somehow outside of the range of the rest of the facility's self-rewind mechanic, I guess? Like, is that the contrivance we're going for? But also, like, why don't any of these screens have useful information on them? Like, why did she wire up grids of them to, like, I guess I must just I just have to interpret this as a non-literal space, because why would this stuff, why would she ever do this? How is this helping her stuff at all? Saying this is helpful, but there's no hint throughout the rest of the game. Like, there has been no prior setup to the idea that we're getting instructions, because that would have been a cool thing to do. Like, the instinct to be like, oh, she's in an infinite loop, and having that reveal be a thing, that part makes sense. But why isn't the past Arya giving us more instructions throughout the rest of the game? Maybe it's because of the contrivance that this area is somehow outside of the loop, but the rest of the facility is always resetting every time she resets everything, and that's why there's no evidence of past Arya besides some of these ghosts, but which might be a sense of deja vu or something. But I don't know, if you're contriving some, might as well contrive more, right? Because, like, the whole place isn't rewinding, it's all fucked up and full of plants and that's an Uzumaki spiral. Hello. Like, if this stuff's gonna be all fucked up looking like this, then you might as well fill the environment with contrivances that are all about, like, past messages, and that we can gain information from ourselves throughout the game in a recursive loop that can maybe make it so that this is finally the successful loop. Like, that would be cool, getting information from past versions of ourselves. But that doesn't seem to happen either. But emails don't rewind, and also I guess the plants don't rewind because organic matter doesn't rewind. Is that the contrivance there? But I rewind. But these don't rewind, but I rewind. But maybe I'm rewinding via the rewind. See, I can explain some of the stuff at least. Like, maybe the plants are everywhere because everything else is rewinding, but organic matter is immune to the rewind. And I'm also immune to the rewind. But there is a way of rewinding people that they do for testing purposes, so maybe we're using that to rewind ourselves separately. So we rewind the facility with one mechanic, then we rewind ourselves separately. And I guess the reason we rewind ourselves is because we have to generate enough entropy energy in order to save the world each time in the loop, and that's only possible if we don't know the solutions to the puzzles already, which means that Arya has to have her mind wiped because she has to be able to solve the puzzles again for the first time each time, and that's the loop she's stuck in, and she's just kind of hoping that one day she'll figure out how to solve everything. But if for that to be the case, she 1000%, look at her just, like, this is not productive. This is her research. She's just looking at sad images and then being depressed in a corner. Like, the narrative only makes sense if she is actually littering clues throughout the environment about how to actually break the loop. Because otherwise she's just giving herself an infinite loop of that she's trapped in that will just keep going until the Entropy Center finally just shits out and can't be repaired in some way finally. Because, like, it's just a genuine loop. So she needs to be leaving some kind of clues for us about how to do it. And if she's smart, then she could use the plants, right? If the plants are immune to the loops, then she needs to use the plants to give us clues. Because the plants don't reset. Like, that's the trick then, right? So, like... ra-da-da-da. I don't know. I'm having fun trying to come up with cool solutions for this stuff, but while simultaneously dealing with how the narrative just seems really iffy a lot of the time. But yeah, the contents of this room, my starting point was just the fact that the contents of this room are just really stupid. Like, this is her trying to save everything. She's just fucking wasting space and thought, doing nothing, and going like, I'm crazy! The closest we have is that these are implied to say something on them. But yeah, like, if you want to be like, I don't expect it to be that deep, but you expect to see, like, just boards that are just completely covered in, like, notes and algorithms and equations, and maybe it's so dense that it's illegible, but, like, that would imply that she's, like, actively working on something. And instead, there's just, like, big arrow point at nuke, maybe? Ambiguous cataclysm sources? And that just makes this entire room really stupid. Anyway, I've rambled way too long today. That's just the course the playthrough's in. Oh, loop's over. I don't think a landfill did it, if I'm being honest. I don't think that's the problem that cataclysmed the world. Not in the Earth exploding kind of way. Like, we are polluting the world, and it's going to cause problems for us. But a lot of climate change and other stuff, like, isn't going to, like, end the world. The world will outlive us. And we will just... We're the ones that will be gone. Okay, I think it was a forest fire. It looks like it's supposed to be this image. I don't know why the forest fire is pulsing in the corner while an unrelated fire is also playing across the screen. That's a weird visual. But then the forest fire is tilted 90 degrees. Yep, we've been in a loop. Rewind, yep. Rewind Earth, wake up, find ASTRA, solve puzzles, fix reactor, rewind Earth. I stay. I can only interpret this as being a non-literal space because it doesn't make any sense location-wise for it to exist. But it's frustrating because the game does imply that this is where we're solving the thing. I like the anxiety of us being ankle deep in water. Like the sinking feeling that we're already in it. It's just everywhere. This is my secret files pile. Bottom ones get wet, unfortunately. Wake up, Arya, now. Oh. There's a door behind me now. Oh, ceiling's opening.
Oh, what was that? What's over there? You see something? Is that ASTRA?
Oh, that's bad. Has that... Does...
I can do this. It looks dangerous, so stay here, okay?
Oh.
Okay, that works too.
I don't remember when I fell asleep, actually. When did I fall asleep? I guess she's overrolled this and isn't going to react to any of it. Okay, I lost the thread. I don't actually remember passing out. But at some point I was like, yeah, this space is meant to be non-literal. But it's like iffy in how it's presented. So the question is the ledge... Is the conveyor that Astra's on right now in an infinite loop of rewinding? Like, it's always about to explode. It's always about to get dropped in the incinerator, but then it keeps rewinding back to the beginning. Oh, this again. Okay, that doesn't go that far. I'm gonna level with you, this stuff sucks. Part of what was satisfying about the ending of Portal 1 was that they managed to incorporate the puzzles into a boss fight. And that had some of its own jankiness a little bit, and that like it could be a little frustrating to die and have to restart parts of it. It literally homes in on you. But like being forced to do this stuff, this sucks. They just tried to invent shitty combat in the middle of their puzzle game. And they'd be better off literally cutting it from the game because it does not successfully escalate the tension. Especially since having a bunch of robots that are just arbitrarily mad at you and keep attacking you for no particular reason does not feel particularly connected to the actual stakes of the story. Whereas Gladys very much was the stakes of the story. So it's like there's evil robots because Gladys was an evil robot, but Gladys was literally the antagonist of Portal 1 and 2. And these guys are mindless and unrelated. They just contrived a reason for there to be some evil robots, seemingly as like an antibody system because just the facility's freaking out about how it's totally dying, and that manifested in evil robots, but there's no particular reason it had to be that they did that. Ow. I'm a lot of cubes. They're camping the cubes. Yep. They're camping the cubes, those dicks. They're literally standing by the only source of damage in the room. Oh my god, you do the whole thing again. Okay. It's getting kind of funny that I specifically opted out of playing the physics on these things. I opted out of playing House of Da Vinci 2 because it seemed too low quality, and then I picked this instead. And I'm eating my words a little bit. This game hasn't been that bad. The puzzles are fine is the thing. It's just everything else is like, man, this is disappointing. I kind of have a respect right now for like Rethink and Rethink Evolved for just being a bunch of laser puzzles with zero context. Because there's an honesty in just being a simple puzzle game that just gives you a bunch of puzzles for fun, instead of trying to contrive a bunch of stuff around it that you don't have that figured out narratively. Especially since like one of the pitfalls of puzzle games narratives is that, how did I not hit it? I hit everything. God damn it. One of the pitfalls of having narrative in a puzzle game is the fact that it then leads to you wanting to have a climax narratively, and people often interpret climax as meaning there must be a final fight of some kind with like explosions and a boss fight or something. So like, how do I make an action sequence in my puzzle game? And Portal, because they're unhinged, figured out how to do that, but almost nobody else ever has. So almost everybody really struggles to figure out how to do narrative stakes in their puzzle game in a way that like is mechanically expressed. A lot of the best games forego the idea of trying to turn it into an action sequence, and they instead just take the basic puzzle mechanics and increase their grandiosity so that you're doing it on a scale that seems crazy. Like they'll just make the rooms really big, or like the interactions really big, and that just feels cooler. Even Portal did that a bit, where Portal 2 has you shoot the moon at one point with a portal gun. You're like, oh my god! And like that kind of stuff's great. Hello. Okay. Let's go back to solving normal puzzles.
Hello! Handheld entropy device systems now online.
You're back. I was starting to think I lost you forever.
I thought you had died. I missed you lots. I remember the reactor and then a painful tickling. Everything went dark. The next thing I remember, my systems were rebooting. Your stress levels are at 87%. Did something happen?
Kind of. I can't quite explain it. I was just worried.
About me?
Something like that. You're pretty handy to have around, you know.
Bong.
Let's head onwards, Arya. We only need to complete a few more puzzle areas before the entropy device is fully charged.
All right, let's do it. It's good to have you back, Astra.
Oh, really? Wait, we're just going back into it. Okay. So the implied threat was, or the implied like consequences were fake. She's just alive. Nothing. It literally was just we got separated from the gun for a bit. Huh. Oh, it just didn't work. All right, let's try it again. There we go. Weird. Incinerator, -14. Pacing-wise, it's very strange to escalate that big and then make it feel like the end of the game, and then have you do a no-gun level that feels like a set piece that's just meant to end the game. But then they just give you the gun and put you back in normal test chambers and just put you back on the original task of we gotta charge up the energy meter? Huh. Okay.
Detecting route. We are 2 areas away from the main control deck. Now that the reactor is stable, we just need to finish charging the entropy device by completing a few more puzzles.
Got it. Down there, I discovered a lot. I started to remember.
How interesting. Please elaborate.
I don't know. I don't think this is the first time we've been on this journey, Astra.
No further thoughts from ASTRA. I think when they said 2 areas, they meant 2 floors? So there's like a lot of game left. Huh. Once they put me in that giant room with the huge columns that was crumbling and reconstructing itself, it definitely felt like, oh, this is the end. I guess now we have the answer, percentage of audience who looked at title of video and was confused it didn't say finale. Because I feel like that's going to be a percentage of people, for sure, was like, this sure looks like the ending. And these videos are 2 hours long, so you must be like far from the ending if it doesn't say ending. Puzzle areas 14. The door does not seem to open. Oh. There's something. Meow. Okay. That can be dropped over there. Don't think I'm making this jump. Good. Good. Alright, that'll work fine. Boop. Oh, I was supposed to put it down there, wasn't I? Nah. I'm too cool to play by your rules. That over there a bit. No! Me being a jackass fucking betrayed me. Dang. I am an asshole. Alright. Forgot to hold it up. I think I did at least. I actually didn't rewind it to check. It is mine now. They want me to rewind it through a series of spots on the floor, so I can keep bouncing over gaps. But instead... I accomplished nothing, but at least I was annoying about it. Now you get to be up here too. I can't fit it through here because it's too wide, and she doesn't hold things sideways ever. Got a foosball table. Corbin Rios. Spooky ghosts. Oh, they had seen the ghosts before. They're not just on me. Corbin. Hey, Connor. So, yeah, ghosts exist. I'm telling you, I've seen them. There used to be one in my house. Maybe not here at EC, but on Earth, definitely. I don't think anyone's proven it, but I'm sure. But I think I have a theory. I think when we rewind something too much or too often, previous timelines start to overlap with ours, and we start seeing visions of other unused timelines. I know it sounds a bit weird, but it makes sense, right? Yeah, makes sense. It's a little fringe science, though, don't you think? Fringe? Come on. We're on a tropical space hub on the moon, and a facility that can rewind time on Earth, and you're saying my ghost theory is too fringe? You make a good point. So they're implying here that all ghosts, as we know of them, are from this process here. It's from us rewinding Earth over and over again. So all ghosts were caused by the Entropy Centre. It's a fun little thing to say. I'm just gonna take this with me and no one can stop me. They're definitely not gonna despawn it.
Surface temperature is 8,000 degrees Celsius. You could cook an egg from 20,000 miles away.
Whoa.
Bit insensitive, ASTRA.
That's a lot of miles away. Am I the many miles away? I don't know how far away the Earth is from the moon. look how far I get to carry it. They would never take this from me. That would be mean. That's shootable. That's just a big hole in the wall. Nothing else around here. Whoop! Greetings. Nope. Puzzle areas 14. Uh-oh. I guess there's a button somewhere. But I can just do this. So that's easy. Does that really count as a puzzle? Just wander over there and press the button? I guess that it was about noticing that you could drop down at a slightly slightly different height. These are unnervingly low guardrails, right? Like, these would not be great at saving you from falling off the ledge. If anything, they're at tripping height, as if to help you fall off the ledge. Me and my friend that no one will take from me. Nah.
The Entropy Centre are currently destroyed and not accessible. This is the fastest route.
Okay then, let's do this.
The difficulty just means more power, right? That's how the game logics out that stuff. All right, so I got a bouncy pad. I've got an extendo pad. Both of these have to be pressed to open the door. I'm guessing you end with the bounce pad here because you probably shoot a light bridge over here, then jump off onto that, then up there, and that's how you get there. You might need to use the bounce pad to get somewhere else. Oh, this is here. Okay, these are hard to spot. So that launches me upstairs, but only if I have this button pressed. And I have to bring the bounce pad up here. I have to bring the bounce pad up here to get up there. So you probably bring the bounce pad, launch the bounce pad up here, then rewind it back down. You put that here, put the bounce pad on here, and take it up here with you. Bounce up there, but then rewind it back down there so it's holding the button. Or rewind it back down there. Because at that point you don't need the bounce pad anymore, but we need to have the other cube up here. Or something. Let's see. It's trying to hold it in my head all at once. It's going to be some variation of bouncing an object up here, then taking it back downstairs to press the button probably, but then being able to rewind it up to you back up here. You might do it with that. Let's see. Either way, you need to end being here. Take you all the way over to here. You can press the button. And you need to rewind back to being down here. Bounce you up here. Put you back on it. Did I never put you on the button? Apparently. Took a really non-linear route here, didn't I? Bleh. Bleh. So we bring you up here. And then we should be able to rewind you all the way back to the origin. Yeah, so I've been pretty much on the right path this whole time. I just need to, like, iron out the sequence on the actual platforming bit at the end. And this is all grading, so I can reach that when I'm on the other thing. I don't need to do it now. Oh! I almost didn't turn it off. It was in time mode, so it was gonna let me phase through it without bouncing. That would have sucked. And this should be set to rewind all the way back to that platform. There we go. Ooh, slanty.
This is an Entropy Centre emergency announcement. Data has been deleted approaching. Urgent rewind of love required.
I would like to inform you that your chance of survival is currently 22.4%.
That's actually higher than I expected.
I feel like our survival rate is pretty high because it seems like we're in a loop of doing the same thing over and over again, so that means I need to have survived every single iteration of this, right? I don't think her math makes any sense. Like, I know they're going for a joke, but I don't think it fundamentally makes any sense. So going there will turn you into a bounce pad. And that's the red one. Okay, so I need it to become a laser. Because a laser is how you power the... There we go. Okay, I just didn't plan this out very well. It's fine. There. It's pointing at it. Now it's not pointing at it. Ta-da! I'm upstairs now. Oop. So it needs to be a bounce pad for me to get here, and then it has to be there at the end. So basically make it a bounce pad, put it on this button, reset it, carry it over here, so that this becomes one of the spots it stops at. Then put it on there and make it a laser and let's point it at that. And then I'm good. She said extremely hard, but this just seems to be like the 101 stuff we've been dealing with the whole time, as far as this series goes. I think part of the implication is just the fact that we are now mixing mechanics that I think weren't in the same space before. But I'm not really sure if that's true either. It seems like a normal puzzle for the level that introduced these things. Yeah, I think I already finished this level. Yeah, haha, you found it. Okay. So that rewinds back into being a bounce pad. And I just need to drop it for a second so that it doesn't mess up. And the main trick here is just remembering not to press R, because R will delete my data, whereas Q just physically drops it by letting it leave time state, or whatever it's called. Entropy prison. Grr. Beam, beam, boom. Dibba, dibba, dibba,
Not
doo.
trying to alarm you, but the center is 3 large shockwaves away from total annihilation. I am detecting an extremely...
Ah! Why is there randomly a hole in the level? That's just rude. Where even was that? Oh, geez.
Not trying to alarm you, but the center is 3 large shockwaves away from total annihilation. I am detecting an extremely large cataclysmic collision approaching the center. Recommendation? Speed.
I'm trying. You don't have legs. You don't understand.
Don't have legs. Yet.
Stop saying that. It's weird.
Screens up there. Giant ball of fire. I feel like we're somehow closer to the exploding Earth than before. It does seem to not have chunks coming out of it anymore, and just kind of is a continuous ball of fire. Maybe it is like swelling up like the sun going red dwarf or something. I don't think that's the right term. Whatever. This laser will do something. Oh, creates a bridge. Oh, and there's the exit. I was wondering where the exit was. So we have 2 normal blocks, and they're pretty useless as normal blocks, so might as well turn them into something. Ah. Man, look at how it's struggling to even hit the square. It's like almost missing. They really carefully crafted the portal lasers to like be really good at pointing at the thing you want to point it at. And also they don't freak out and bounce everywhere when you set them down. Because that's their purpose, is to be a puzzle asset. Ah, the bridge is on this side. This is a bounce pad. This is a death hole. Oh, is that what this button does? It makes this bridge over here open up? So that allows you to walk across here if this button's pressed. It also opens something upstairs, apparently. I guess I'm going to be going back up there. But I need to be able to disable the bounce one of these barriers in order to get past it. Otherwise the objects can't come on the side of the level. And I also lose my rewind. Oh, this is just a jumpy. Oh! That's not very well play tested. I guess if you get on the bounce pad from the back end, you hit your head on the debris, and you don't land on the platform. Guys, come on. Just feeling real rough. Okay, so it's not that hard to get items on this side because there's literally just a staircase that helps you do it. So I just nab one of these up. I bring it over here and I can set it down on this. It allows me to cross here, but why am I doing that? It resets my thingy, and also that side, like I can just walk normally over there. Both of them reset my thingy, so I don't keep my time. I can't cross this gap very effectively. I could bring that over here, then back over there, and then if I jumped, I'd bounce up there, potentially. But then they put a hole there, which I think stops me from doing the same trick over here, because I think I could bounce on the left side of this barrier and land back up there without touching the barrier, and then I wouldn't be losing my timer, which meant I could just leapfrog across the level that way. That'd be hard to do here, though, because of this platform being the way it is. But it might still work. Which would be very funny. It might be so funny that I'm gonna try it. This is where it has to be at the end level. That door's already unlocked, it looks like. Take it from here to... Oopsie. To there. It'll probably be harder on this side because of the way that the door is laid out. We'll see. Oops. Ah. Does need to be here. And then up here. It's very important that I don't touch any of the blue stuff, or I get fucked. Technically, opening this gate doesn't matter if I'm getting away with what I'm trying here, which we'll see. Oh, you fools. That can't have been the intended solution, right? Like, that wall over there existed for a reason. The weird platform? They must have wanted me to do something complicated with that stuff. Like, that was such a basic leapfrog thing we've done all game that I think I just skipped the level with my giant brain. Well, I guess I get to feel really cool. So there's that.